Is always brought to you by Vodafone and Trellador, Africa's strongest burglar proofing. Now, tensions in Odumasi and Somanya in the eastern region tonight remains high, and the anger of some youth there who are now targeting top state officials has forced the chairman of the Lower Manyakrobo Municipal Security Council to flee his own home. Simon Tete has vacated his official residence for fear of being attacked by the youth. The two communities have been embroiled in a long-standing feud with the Electricity Company of Ghana over unpaid bills and acts of vandalism. Now, the towns have been plunged into darkness for weeks. Tonight, we are also learning that the home of the Member of Parliament for the area has also been targeted. A prepaid meter installed by the ECG there has been removed while he was away. Yesterday, Joy News exclusively revealed that the National Security had brokered an agreement that will see the ECG restore power. But we are learning tonight that the process to restore power is likely to take some time. As sources close to the negotiations have told Joy News, the ECG has identified as many as 12 transformers that have been destroyed by unknown persons. In fact, the managing director of ECG, Samuel Mahama, tells Joy News restoring power cannot happen immediately.
The conclusion of the meeting was that we need to sit back, find out how to put the teams together. I need to go back, speak with my union, speak to my with the good employees of ECG to see how we can put something very good together on the rollout plan. There are videos going on of my power lines being cut down. There is information reaching us that sand and stuff have been put in the distribution transformer. I cannot just energize the line. I have to be able to walk the line, check the integrity of the line before I put power in it. It will be very irresponsible for me to just energize it and for it to explode. And currently, I do not have access. At some point, there were roadblocks in the middle of the night looking for ECG staff to beat them. So how do we stay in an environment like that? The reason why it is off is because I need to have access to those lines. It's electricity. If I don't have access to the lines and anything happens or something happens, who do I blame? Even, let's say for argument's sake, you even want ECG to forgive your debt from 2014 to, let's say, July 2022. What happens to August? What happens to September? We must admit that let's have a roadmap that in August and in September, we have to install the prepaid meters. But you cannot say, I don't want the prepaid. Meanwhile, I am also telling you, I don't have the manpower, and I'm not comfortable working in your area. We need some time to be able to build the friendship again. For that, let's allow and agree that the prepaid meters have come to stay. The issue about prepaid is non-negotiable.
Well, Municipal Chief Executive for Yilo Krobo, Eric Tete, says he and his colleague at Lower Manya Municipality have vacated the official residence for fear of being attacked by the youth.
What is very painful is that those of us who are championing this cause, like the chiefs and with the MCs, are being attacked by this youth here and there. In fact, my colleague in Lower Manya is unable to even stay in his residence. All because there is this fight against ECG because there was overbilling and those problems. And so I want the records to be set straight that Krobos have never said that we will not pay light bills. The youth who were agitating they don't represent the view of Krobos. Krobos are good people. We have former finance minister Setepe in Yilo who have come out to say he supports prepaid. We have Kofi, former CEO of VRA from Somania here out openly, and our paramount chiefs. These are the people I want ECG and the whole world to see as representing the face of Krobos, not those few young guys who think they can just make noise. Thankfully, yesterday there was a meeting in Accra, and I can tell you within the shortest possible time, we will get our lights here. If you come to the assembly, my assembly, we spend 500 cedis every day on fuel. Our municipal hospital, they spend 1,770 Ghana cedis every day. If individuals who have their shops who are using generators, averagely 150 Ghana cedis a day.
Now, there's also a standoff now developing between the ECG and the Member of Parliament for Lower Manyakrobo over the removal of a prepaid meter installed in his residence. The ECG boss, Samuel Mahama, describes the development as unfortunate.
Say we are carrying out a policy, and we feel this is an area where it will be difficult for us to even read meters. So the easiest way would be to use IT through smart meters to monitor the meters from afar. Somebody tampers with the meter, we will come and see you. Oh, all right. I don't know a meter and say, yeah, I did cry exercise here, fix here, be mutampa, be do me and say, MP need the NIA de Cobo, so much to do the co. And I'm connected direct.
Member of Parliament.
If you honor
more fixed prepaid,
prepaid one.
And a why to coy.
Me and MP need any mutu. And I'm connecting any are connecting direct.
And not MP on your way.
Also on your way.
And I said, we're criminal in my day.
Ofa na ye de rock room ho ye ma ye nra ho ye bra ho ye bebu yen.
The MP Ebenezer Telabi says he has lodged a complaint with the police to arrest those who removed the prepaid meter in question.
I have heard that my house, my residence have been disconnected. Yes, but the fact is that the ECG had installed prepaid meters in my house, which I did not kick against, because I have always indicated that we would be paying our bills and we'll pay. The only thing that I have objected was the presence of the soldiers. So the meter was installed on Saturday, and I left there Sunday evening for a meeting in Accra on Monday. I had credit on it. I bought 250 worth of credit because, during the week, I don't use anything there. It is only when I go there sometimes Saturday morning or Friday evening. So there's no reason, there's no reason why I would do illegal connection. It was only yesterday that they reported to only yesterday. So I'm yet to go to the police myself, but I'm sure they are doing their own investigation. But as I said, I suspect foul play, but then that is not the issue now. The issue is about how we should be paying our bills. And the ECG has decided, so I don't have any problem with that.
We can now speak to the MCE for Lower Manyakrobo, Simon Tete. Hello, Mr. Tete. Thank you for your time here on Top Story.
Thank you, and good evening to your listeners.
Thank you very much. Also joining me is your colleague, MC for Yellow Krobo, Eric Tete. Mr. Tete? Eric?
Yes.
I'm grateful that you could join us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Simon, let me start with you. I'm curious why we heard from your colleague, Eric, that the two of you who have been fighting for the youth have now become targets. Why?
There is a lot of. Thank you very much. It's like rumor mongering that we, the MCEs, have connived and they have brought people to trouble during that agenda, which is rather unfortunate. And as municipal executives, if a state agency is coming to do its work, you create an environment for them to work. But we have realized that that's an occupational hazard, and we know that we'll solve this problem and move on.
So, are you back in your official residence now?
Yes, please.
But initially, I understand that because of the tensions and the targeting, I get a sense that, is it fair to say the community simply is opposed to the prepaid meter? That's why this issue had come up and you become a target because they suspect you are facilitating the installation of prepaid?
And the issue is that in the Krobo area, which includes Rofilo, initially they were printing bills from them, and they introduced a software in 2014. And like my colleague said this afternoon, that even the Krobo district was adjunct one of the best districts that has been paying 8 bills until that problem come up from 2014. So it's an inherited problem from 2014 up to date. Now, we had a series of engagement with UCG and other stakeholders. But it's like the process started. For instance, in my municipality, the people of Form, if you go there now, they've installed over 2,679 meters there. The same way in Geelong, where my colleagues, they've done over 2,000 something, and they've all also purchased units. So the process started until there were some few challenges, and we have to cut the power. And we had series of engagements with other stakeholders, with opinion leaders. It was even yesterday, like my colleague said, we were led by our regional minister. We are grateful to him, to the National Security Ministry, where we met the ECD, the MD, and the paramount chiefs, the regional officers, Dr. Chu, and other stakeholders were there to find a lasting solution to this. For ECG to own the lights for it, and other activities will continue.
I mean, Eric, let me bring you in. This meeting that was held yesterday, from what we understand, ended, with some good news that the ECG should restore power. Tonight, as we speak, do you have an indication when that will be?
Not quite, but for me, what was refreshing was the fact that the MD of ECG looked into the face of our two paramount chiefs and the National Security Minister to assure us that he was going to, as quickly as possible, restore power to us. His main challenge was that some of the system had been tampered with, and so they need to check and find out and tomorrow. And I believe that where we've gotten to, there is a long last good news at the end of it.
But if we had him, the MD, he talks about the roadmap. It's not going to happen immediately because as many as 12 transformers may have been affected, and they will need to do a very thorough check on this. We've saw some pictures of some of the poles having been destroyed. For more indication, this is not going to happen this weekend.
Oh well, the poles. It was one, but they've replaced it.
It has been replaced.
Very bad situation. But what I'm saying is that what makes the restoration of power very urgent is that if you come to my municipality, the prepaid meters were wholeheartedly accepted by the people. When you go to Lower Manya, it was accepted in the whole of Bom. And so if two communities are having issues with the prepaid, it will be unfair to say that you are putting off lights for all these people who have already received the prepaid meters, have bought credit on them, to deny them of power.
But it's also about security for the ECG staff, is it not? I mean, I've heard the Public Utilities Workers Union say they just don't feel safe to work there. That's why they've had to cut the feeder supply.
No, for me, those few people who are demonstrating, who are making the disturbance there, national security shouldn't allow them to have their way. Otherwise, then we are all finished. You understand? So for me, it's not everything that I can say here, but I'm confident that ECG themselves feels that they have been unfair to customers who have bought credit on their meters, and because of some people's problems, they are denying them of their power. Mind you, on a daily basis, the cost is counting. As I said in the morning, my municipality, my assembly alone, 500 cedis a day. When you go to the district hospital, 1,770 daily. There are two hotels around my assembly that I just went to have a feel. One spends 3,400 a day, and the other 3,200 cedis a day. Businesses who, like pharmacy shops and others, they spend an average of 150, 200 cedis a day. Yesterday, I met a young lady who had gone to Edukrum, that is Okre district, to go and buy ice block just to come and freeze his ice water to sell. And so the repairs that ECG has to do must be very urgent. And the National Security Minister made that point clear. And the ECG boss also said that he was going to do everything not to disappoint them. For me, this over 2 weeks that we've been in darkness, even those who created this problem have started counting their losses. And the way the whole community is against them, I believe the ECG, that they don't need to bring any military to come and back them to do whatever they do. We as music want to put on record that we will also do our best to ensure that security is guaranteed these ECG workers. And our chiefs yesterday said that they will also not sit down. As the owners of the land, they will also support ECG to implement this. We want to make it clear to the world that the bad name being given to us by the actions of these few people, that Krobos are difficult people, Krobos don't want to pay light bill, we should be able to redeem our image. A charge we will do.
Let me bring in Simon. Simon, Eric there talks about assuring that you guarantee the safety of the ECG staff who will come and work and restore the power. But I wonder, I mean, as the chairman of the Security Council there, why haven't we seen any arrests?
Hello.
Simon, yes, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me, Simon?
Yes, thank you very much, Master Evans. Yes, you know, in conflict resolution, there are several measures you put in place. First of all, you do dialogue, you engage, and you do discussions. And I hope that with the current trend that we are moving, there will be a lasting solution to this. And that is becoming more helpful. We hope that the security agencies will also do their investigation where there are seen some criminality and there is a need for them to take any action they will take. But I just want to use this medium to appeal to ECG that we are pleading on behalf of my people. And we are kneeling down before him to consider us and let his workers come. We assist them to patrol the lines, check the transformers, any assistance that he needs. We've done it before. This thing happened before. When they came, we took them to one transformer to the other. We checked the integrity of the transformers. They were happy, and later on, the feeder was put on. It's a policy they are implementing. There was a hitch. It was becoming successful. There was a hitch. Let's find solution to the hitch. And now several engagements have gone on since the hitch started. And I hope that now when they come back, they will not have the challenge again.
Simon, thank you very much. And he's the Municipal Chief Executive, Chairman of the Municipal Council for Lower Manya Krobo. Ebenezer Telabi is the Member of Parliament for the area and joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Telabi, I'm grateful for your time here on Top Story.
Thank you.
I heard you earlier talk about this prepaid meter that was installed in your house, but apparently may have been removed. And you suggested that you suspect foul play. When you say that, I wonder what that means.
No, what I'm saying, I didn't say foul play, but what I said was that it was removed because I don't know what went through what made them do that, and I still don't understand. Oh no! So unfortunately, I don't live in the so-called gated house that you may be thinking about. I live in a compound house in my constituency.
So there are other, buildings on the compound, and
there are other buildings, but then most of the time, the place is very quiet, unless I'm around, at weekends.
So now that the meter is gone, you obviously you also don't have electricity, obviously, because
no, I don't have electricity.
You reported.
I don't.
You reported it to the police. Have they?
Yeah, I did. I reported it to them. When they called me, my brother lives in a net house. And when they they realized that that was what has happened, they called me and I asked them to go to ECG, go and report first, and then to the police station to go and report. Yeah.
I mean, and yesterday there were meetings, some positive outcomes reported.
Yes.
But we are learning that it will take a bit longer because of the challenges with some of the transformers and the vandalism that had gone on. Have you been told any specifics about when the power may be restored?
No. In fact, after my our last meeting with the minister and the ECG boss, the indication was that they would have to, check the integrity of the lines and make sure that everything is okay before they give us power. And so far, what actually happened was that it was just after that agreement that they were going to give us, they were going to come back, check. Then the next day we heard that some pools were pulled down. Fortunately, when we went, it was just one, and they have restored that one. So they would have to go back and check the lines before maybe giving us light.
I mean, and then finally, considering that your own, prepaid meter had been removed by somebody, doesn't that suggest that there are people, no matter how small in number they are, who intend to still make the life of, others uncomfortable and may pose a threat to ECG officials who may return to work?
No, that is unfortunate, but I can assure you that subsequently we have had engagement with the youth group especially. We'll be talking to them, and we are just pleading that they should just, have that trust in us that when the lights come, you see, when in darkness, you know what can happen. Anybody can get up and do anything. You understand? So we are praying that they give us light whilst we continue to engage them. Because as I speak to you, there are areas in the constituency where they have installed the prepaid without any problem. There are some areas. When you go to Pong, you come to Somanya, these areas have all had them. When you even Pong, there's just before Nwaso, the Volta River Settlement, areas have all gotten prepaid. I think that that's a good sign, and we would have to continue to engage the people. It is not going to be easy because of how the whole thing started. You understand? So let's continue to talk. I believe that a time will come when everybody, will come on board and we'll have light. Because you see, I believe that electricity, must be paid for. And my interaction with my community, there's no indication that anybody wants, to have electricity for free. They all understand. The only problem is that people, I don't know, but a lot of people do not really subscribe to the fact that they do not subscribe to this prepaid issue, which we need to really, let them understand that it may not be too different from the postpaid, So we'll continue to talk to them. But in the meantime, we are just pleading with the ECG and a special appeal to the president, because our security is very important, seriously. And if you look at, on the balance of everything, the hospitals, the schools, there's a lot that is, going on in the area. And we need to protect those properties too. And under the cover of darkness, anybody can just rise up and do anything.
Yeah. Ebenezer Telabi, thank you very much. He's a member of parliament for the community, his own home, where he stays, as you heard him there. He got a prepaid meter installed there. That prepaid meter has been removed, and the police is now investigating that. The key question remains, when will the power come on following this agreement that was reached yesterday? Let's bring in the man who facilitated that outcome. He's a regional minister. Seth Champon joins us on the telephone line right now. Mr. Champon, I'm grateful.
Good evening, Evans. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, are the lights on tomorrow?
As a matter of fact, we're still waiting for the experts who are auditing the lines. Reasons are that some transformers had being destroyed by pushing sand into them. You really don't understand why some of our people will go to that extent of destroying property which benefits society. And so the engineers are working at it to make sure that all the lines are cleared, everything is safe. You know, electricity is quite powerful and dangerous. And so before you restore, you must ensure that you have commissioned all the lines and make sure properly in safety measures have been assured. But I know that they are working, vigorously to get themselves back on track with us. It's still a plea to the service provider. It hasn't been easy negotiating this conversation.
I asked earlier when the MCs joined that the workers of the ECG, their only condition is that guarantee their safety. I know you've said that you will do that now, but it would be reassuring if you can show evidence that people who were involved in the vandalism have been arrested. So far, we haven't had any reports of arrests.
Certainly so, Evans, and your good selves understand and appreciate that security is not just about, the conversations you are holding now. Men are on ground, and you cannot just go and accost anybody unlawfully. So it is still a matter of security and intelligence gathering. We are very positive. We have enough information which is pointing to the evidence that we're looking for. And we are very certain pretty soon the culprits will be incarcerated.
I'm grateful, Seth Champon. Seth Champon is the Eastern Regional Minister there, speaking to us about the situation in these two communities in the Eastern region. They've been in darkness for weeks now, and the hospitals are now on the verge of a shutdown. If you live there, let me hear from you. I know there's a few of the residents are maybe corporates involved in the criminal activity. Overwhelming majority who live there disagree with what has happened. And so let me hear from you. Have your say, 05511119997.